So if you are an ambitious and smart person, you know that feeling all too well of being disappointed because you are having a bad day. You feel unmotivated to do the things that you need to do, you feel undisciplined, you just want to lie in your bed and swipe your phone. You feel like you are emotionally attached to something and you start sabotaging yourself for not doing the things that you need to do. I know that I spent countless of years justifying my behavior with these terms like lack of motivation or not being disciplined. For example, if I miss a workout, I would attribute it to some sort of psychological factor. If I could just fix my mindset, maybe I'm not thinking things correctly, maybe I'm not motivated and disciplined enough. Then I would spend all of this time trying to make sense and analyze why this kind of thing happened. Why was I not disciplined enough? Why was I not motivated enough to do the things? Why was I not more confident? And I spent all the years obsessing over some vague psychological barrier rather than doing the thing. And now as time goes by, I've come to realize that I do much better the less I give a shit about these things. This has made me to realize that a lot of people fall into this trap, something that I call psychological victimhood. It's the thing where you are so in your head that you think all of your problems are in your head. And what happens next is that you start creating psychological labels for the problems that you have. It's basically a non-existent notion that you tell yourself that is not based on something practical. Like many people would say, I'm self-sabotaging. I used to say that a lot, and if you think about it, it's just an abstract term that you throw at something. You are not getting the outcome you want, so you are self-sabotaging. The next thing you do is you go on Google and search how to stop self-sabotaging. You spend your whole day obsessing over how to correct your self-sabotaging problem, when in reality we just need to remove the psychological thing and figure out what the actual problem is, because self-sabotaging is not the real problem. That's why I call it psychological victimhood. You are turning yourself into a victim to a psychological label that you now obsess over trying to fix. By doing that, you don't actually look at the real problem that is keeping you from getting what you want in your life. For example, with self-sabotaging, if you actually look at your behavior, you say you are self-sabotaging, but the truth is you are just being inconsistent. You are not doing what needs to be done. That's the self-sabotage, but it's not you call it self-sabotage and it becomes this thing like, well, what should I do? I'm self-sabotaging. I have to go to YouTube and learn how to fix my self-sabotage. It's like, no dude, you just need to stop fucking yourself up and do the work. That's it. And until you realize that, you are gonna go in circles thinking your problems is some sort of mental thing. People do this with motivation, purpose. I need to find my purpose. I just don't have anything I'm passionate about, anything I'm motivated for. These are all psychological labels you put out there. And you spend all this time YouTube search, ChatGPT, like how to find my purpose in life, and it's like you are looking at the wrong thing. You are looking for discipline, you are looking for motivation. You just spend your life trying to solve this weird puzzle when in reality, it is very simple and practical. Like, it's not that deep. Why are you not getting what you actually want? It has nothing to do with motivation or passion, it has everything to do with action. Are you doing what you need to do? And another thing is discipline. Again, it has nothing to do with discipline. It's just a psychological term you use to justify your situation. People spend hours and hours watching YouTube on how to be disciplined. They read books about discipline because they think if they can just fix their discipline problem, the problems will go away. But realistically, you are just not doing the specific thing and you just need to correct that. And the reason this is important to wrap your head around is because when you give your power to the psychological terms like this, you are essentially saying you can't change your life until you change that label. So you don't really focus on the real problem. Let's say you want to create content, you want to build a personal brand or something like that. And you just like, I'm not disciplined, I need to be disciplined. It's like, no dude, you just need to upload consistently and post on social media. Stop overthinking in your head. You don't need to spend years trying to crack the code of discipline and just do the thing over and over again and then the discipline will come. And another thing is love, right? I know I've spent a lot of time trying to overthink about what should I say to the girl I like. I have this ongoing inner monologue in my mind constantly, and all it does is telling me all these problems and all these things I got going on. Like you are trying too hard to control things in your head, trying to control outcomes, trying to, oh, if I was just less emotionally attached. You hear this kind of thing in dating, business and stuff. It's like you just have to not be attached to the outcome. If you are too attached to the outcome, things are going to go wrong. You hear this with women, right? If you want the girl so badly, she's not going to like you. If you want the money so badly, the money is going to run from you. You hear this kind of stuff and you tell yourself, if I'm not emotionally attached, I will get everything I want. But that's not how it works. And I spent countless of years thinking this was a problem and not going anywhere. I spent years thinking the reason I don't get what I want is because some psychological problem that I need to fix. But in fact, I'm just not doing the right actions. Another fallacy about discipline that most people think is that once I have discipline, I can just be disciplined at everything I do. But I can tell you firsthand that is just not how it goes. You know, I might have discipline going to the gym, saving money and stuff, but I still struggle with diet, creating content and other areas of my life. This can happen either because I have not made it to a commitment to myself, or maybe it's just a new habit for me that takes time to develop. The point I want to make is I'm not just sitting around and figure out my discipline problem. It's like, no, I just have to do the things that I need to do. Your problem is not you are lacking motivation, your problem is you are just simply not taking action, and you are blaming motivation, passion and all that shit. So the action step for this psychological victimhood before I end this video is to notice that you're obsessing over abstracts and you need to put things down into concrete and something practical. Like, for example, people say they lose momentum whether it's in work or wherever, but the thing I don't believe is that you can lose momentum in something and still doing great in other areas of life. Like, I'm doing badly in my sleep, but at the same time my fitness is getting better, and I could focus on the bad thing and say, oh, I've lost momentum, but at the same time other things I'm doing is just fine, and why not I just focus on that? You have to ask yourself, why do I not get what I want in life? What can I do about it? Not because of some vague abstract in your mind, like just get out of our mind guys and just fix the thing. So to wrap it up guys, really take this to heart, like because a lot of people will hear this and say damn that's so true, or they just completely ignore it. And seriously, think about this, if you are using these terms to justify your actions every time, you're fucking yourself up. So thanks for watching, be sure to like and subscribe, I'll talk to you later.